evening, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. Hello, I'm Boom Gonzalez.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Zihar Vato. Watch the game live and our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app.
Okay, so we begin. Dominated and defended, the DLSU Lady Paddlers secure back-to-back titles after a masterful showing in the UAAP Season 86 Women's Table Tennis Tournament. And joining us to talk about their championship are members of the champion team, Q Teodoro, Mariana Kawili, and Angel Laude. Welcome to the game. Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
3 of the 8. Okay, we want to shout out to the 5 other members who are not with us, who are part of the champion team. Okay, ako gusto ko muna malaman, before we talk about yung championship and yung tournament, and involved ka dito kasi gusto ko malaman kung yung rivalry ba spills over.
I see,
diba?
I see.
Does
Yep,
it spill
yep,
over
yep.
also sa table tennis? Kasi intense sa volleyball,
Right.
intense sa basketball, football, baseball, ganun din ba? Do you feel it or is there another rival when it comes to table tennis? I'll start with you, Q.
Yeah, definitely po, it spills over po sa table tennis. Mapapansin po natin na every time na yun po yung kalaban namin, mas intense po yung cheering, intense po yung pressure, ganun. Pero we also give props to sa UST because they've been the defending
Correct.
champion before
Right.
our team to become champion last season.
Right.
Sila po yung defending champion last time. There is also a rivalry between our team and theirs.
At table tennis
At table
rivalry.
tennis.
Yeah, at table
Yan.
tennis.
Tapos
Correct.
ang Lasal at school rivalry. Yan.
Correct.
Nice, nice. Okay, I wanted
Okay.
to make sure na alam natin
So
yan.
it's UST LaSalle, but in the recent 2 years, it has been LaSalle dominating table tennis. Congratulations
Thank
once
you
again.
po.
And you were all part of the championship
Yes.
last year, right?
Yes.
Correct. And Mariana, I wanted to ask, how was that like? Kasi you only dropped, last year, you swept the whole season. Pero this year, si UST nakaisa sa inyo.
Yes.
Tapos nagharap ulit kayo sa huli in the championship. How was that like? Paano yung mindset?
In the semis.
In the
Semis.
semis,
The
sorry.
semis, yeah.
The semis. How was that like, oh no, it's the team that beat us in the eliminations na sila yung katapat namin ngayon. How was that like?
Siguro po, set lang po kami sa mind namin na it's okay po. Minsan natatalo talaga, pero talagang babawi po kami. Yun po talaga yung nasa isip namin. Siyempre po, as a defending champion po, talagang papakita namin po talaga kung sino po kami.
Naging blessing ba siya na natalo kayo? May kumbaga, medyo nagising kayo, na-shake up kayo ng
Yes, po,
konti?
siguro, nagising po talaga kami na hindi po pwede. Talagang kailangan namin mag-bounce back po talaga.
Kaya UST nga yung talagang table tennis rivals. Angel, you opened the day, right? For the competition. Una ka ba sumalang?
Opo.
Oh, okay, now, para dun sa mga hindi nakakaalam, yung the competition, kasi dun sa mga nasanay sa ibang sports ng UAAP, yung sa kanila medyo rapid eh.
Right,
Dahil,
right.
3 weeks lang, 2 days each week, 6 days lamang.
Total.
So that's all you play for, and morning and afternoon sessions, parang ganun na nangyari. Okay, so having said that, pag ikaw yung una sa championship, yan ang gusto ko malaman. Ikaw yung magbubukas eh. And I know you did very well, but still, how does that feel? Is there extra pressure on you in the finals?
Hindi pa naman wala yung kaba and pressure. Siyempre, andun po siya. Pero what I do na lang po inside the game is, iniisip ko na lang talaga na kailangan each game mabigay ko yung best ko and malaro ko lang po yung 100% ko. And iniisip ko na if manalo ako, magbibigay ito ng boost sa mga teammates ko po na maglalaro po sa mga susunod. So yun po, parang yun, iniisip ko na lang po na tanggalin ko na yung kaba, ilaro ko lang, enjoyin ko lang. Yun.
And congratulations, MVP.
MVP lang naman.
MVP lang. Ginalingan nyo ng very light. But I wanted to, balik tayo sa'yo, Q. Head coach Lauro Crisostomo for the longest time has been your leader in the team. Kamusta siya? Is there anything different in the way you prepared for this season?
Ever since po, our training has been really intense, especially when the season is coming. Actually, si Coach Lauro, mag-birthday po. Shoutout po kay Coach Lauro.
Hey!
Birthday
Advance happy birthday po kay Coach. Super grateful po kami sa kanya. He's been there for us, teaching us, been patient with us all the time. especially po nung nag-pandemic, he's been very patient on helping us regaining our skills. And yung strengths po namin, talagang winwork on po niya yung bawat isa sa amin.
Alright, in the case of those who need to know, dahil she would be able to talk about the pandemic dahil
Right.
matagal ka na din sa team. 4 years, did you say? 4, 5?
It's my 5th year po sa team.
Pero sa team, 5th year. So naranasan mo yung napagdaanan ng pandemic, yung
Yes.
break, kumbaga, sa pandemic. Okay, Mariana, interesting. So nasabi ko na si Angel, she opened up the competition. I think you were ahead 2-0 before naglaro kayo, di ba? Natisod ng konti doon sa game nyo.
Yes.
And I only highlight this, Z, because I wanna understand yung mentality. Pag ganun ba, na medyo natalo, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like you brought the team down, or do you feel that it's part of the game? And how do you parang process it in your head?
For me po kasi, I think it's part of the game po. Kasi as a team po kami. So, siguro po nung araw na po yun, talagang after ng game ko, sad. Pero then, kailangan ko po magbigay ulit ng energy para sa next player po namin. So, talagang remove all the negativity po talaga. Kaya, be optimistic lang po, ganun. Kahit natalo, bounce back lang po ng
Right.
Speaking of mindsets, I wanted to ask you, Angel, opening, as you mentioned, and kasi iba talaga usapan kapag finals. Like, what's that mentality that you bring sa sarili mo into your team? Pag finals na, especially, it's gonna be before that, parang, uy, sige, defend natin yung crown. Like, what's the mentality like?
Ako po, lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila na sa game, lagi namin tandaan yung lahat ng pinagdaanan namin during trainings. Parang baunin namin yung para mag-push namin po na ibigay talaga yung 100% namin na parang bawat puntos talaga kailangan namin pag-isipan, pag-effortan, and ibigay yung 100% po talaga namin. So, yun po.
Okay, 2 quick questions, Z.
Okay.
First, gaano katagal yung training knowing na ganyan lang yung laro nyo for like 3 weeks and 6 days lang?
Every weekdays po, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, every weekdays, matindi pa rin. And Q, as a last question, parang iset mo naman yung stage sa amin kung ano yung pakiramdam na nandun sa Amoranto dahil alam ko yung setup, ginawa nilang international style, ano? And Lasal, obviously, and the UAP was very proud of that setup. Tell us how it went and how did you like it?
We actually really love the venue naman po. Yung mismong playing area po, it has enough space for the games, and yung audience area, nilagay po nila sa taas, which is very convenient po for the players themselves para po hindi po sila
Distract,
sa
yes.
mga crowd na mismong floor lang po compared sa mga dati.
So parang gallery lang yung tunog.
Yeah, parang at least doon po magkaiba po yung yung level po kung saan yung audience, yung level po ng players. Kung saan po yung players, doon po yung players maglalaro. Doon lang po.
Napanood ko ngayon sa YouTube. Z, and I wanted to talk about that venue real quick kasi malaking history ang table tennis dyan sa Amoranto.
Alright, well, ladies, Q, Angel, and Mariana, maraming salamat.
Congratulations! History! Going for 3-peat?
Back to back.
Yes.
Going for 3-peat? Yes. I love the confidence.
Yes,
I love the
alright.
confidence. Thank you.
Alright, after the break, we shift to the heart of volleyball to break down the latest games in the PVL. Keep it here. You're watching The Game. the game. It was another explosive game day in the heart of volleyball, so we've got your very own PVL analyst, Neil Flores, to break down the exciting matches that went down. Neil, good evening and welcome to the game.
Good evening. Sorry I couldn't be there, but I'm happy to be
I
here.
know.
Yeah,
But
yesterday,
always good.
we missed you yesterday, and we missed you here in the studio today. Get well soon, by the way, Neil.
All right, let's get right to it. Neil, we got some discussion going on sa nangyari kahapon. Let's start with Farm Fresh versus the High Risers. The Farm Fresh Foxies beating them in 4 sets.
Yeah. This was only the second win of Farm Fresh. They registered 8 losses in this conference, but looking at their past games, I would still say that it was a better performance for Farm Fresh compared to their previous conference. The thing about building a pro team is that you really have to identify the core. And I believe that they have identified their core in their Adamson players. Trisha Tubu has been their best scorer this season compared to the disappointing performance last season. Malaking bounce back ito for Trisha Tubu, but she also had support from Kate Santiago. So moving forward, I feel like they just need a couple of pieces to finally be in the top 4. Syempre, it's going to be a long road for Farm Fresh, but they already have the basics. The foundation is already there. Counting additional players, I believe they will be more competitive in the succeeding conferences.
Yeah, I was kind of predicting that they would have at the very least 3 wins. And the only reason why I was thinking about that, Neil, and tell me your thoughts, is the addition really of Louie Romero, the heart and soul now of the team, the rookie captain, and what she brought. She really made this team, exciting, even in their losses. Neil, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I do agree. It's very difficult to find a setter in recent times, especially in women's volleyball. That's probably the most difficult position to fill up. And itong si Louie Romero, it might have been her first season, but you can already feel that she is seasoned Parang hindi siya bago She takes control of her playmaking really well. She takes control of the players as well on the floor. Leadership, that's something that you cannot teach. I believe that is something that is inborn, and napaka-natural kay Louie Romero to give instructions to her teammates. And with how they played this season, alam mo naman talaga na they really wanted to win more games. There were a couple of games, a couple of sets that they could have won. But in terms of maturity, we all know na nasa edge pa sila. They need more experience, more games with the professional team so that they can rack out these nail-biter type of games.
Yeah. Good
Definitely
point,
a
good point.
bright future for this young squad. And speaking of bright future na so far parang nagiging actual na siya, Choco Mucho.
Wow.
With their 9-game winning streak.
Yeah, to date, I think that this is the longest winning streak of
Right.
Choco Mucho
No,
in
exactly.
PVL
Exactly.
history. And going against a lower seeded team in the Jurflor Defenders, this actually provided Coach Dante to field in the other veterans on the floor. Yung Bea De Leon and Dina Wong connection, hindi naman siya nawala So I wouldn't call it resurgence. It's just that the first 6 on the floor in the past games have been working so well together na hindi na-feel siguro ni Coach Dante na need magpalit. But now, given the playing time that she also deserves, Bea De Leon had a breakout game of 13 points. That's a good start, especially we're going to be entering the next round really soon. So the players or the second stringers sa Choco Mucho, they also need to be ready if they need to also contribute in terms of points.
Before we move on to the next team, some people sometimes simplify this resurgence or this great play of Choco Mucho to just CC Rondina. But Neil, it's deeper than that. It's bigger than that. We saw already some signs in that Vietnam league in the off-season. What has been the key for Choco Mucho? Why have they been able to put up a winning streak? And, finally defeat teams, especially in crunch time, unlike nung invitational.
I guess there's just a different kind of motivation this conference. if I would look for a term, siguro nakakasawa din on their end na nabibitin. And I know they feel the same way. So coming into this league with the system of Coach Dante, alam nila na they have matured throughout the games, throughout the international exposure that they had already. And aside from the players that we mentioned, I think that Tang Ponce has been the biggest revelation
Right.
for this conference. I mean, without her excellent receives and her excellent digs, hindi magagawa ni Dina and ng mga attackers yung mga trabaho nila. So that's also the reason why she's up there in terms of standings. She will probably get that Best Libero award looking at her performance this season. So it has really been a team effort for the Flying Titans.
Looking forward to their next matches and
In Iloilo.
in
yung next one.
Iloilo,
Yeah.
where you'll be there to
Yes,
cover the
yes.
game. Okay, next stop, we got Creamline being still the #1 team so far.
Yeah, itong Cool Smashers, no, it was no surprise. For me, as an analyst, I knew that Cherry Tigo would put up a fight. But when you take a look at the strategic substitutions,
Right.
Creamline had more production from that. And we've always said this, that Creamline has had a deep bench in the past conference. But I think that this is the season na talagang ginamit yung second stringers because
Great
when you
point.
look at the bench of the Cool Smashers, they have Bernadette Pons, they have Tots Carlos, and Tots Carlos in this game had limited minutes, but kung titingnan natin yung percentage niya, out of all the attackers, siya pa rin talaga yung may
Efficient.
pinakamataas na efficiency.
Right.
So yun yung naging difference ng game ng Cherry Tigo and the Creamline. It's really the substitutions of each of the coaching staff.
Yeah, so they're undefeated still. No streak was broken yesterday by Cherry Tigo, and we have to end with them because they have had some great success also, Neil. Cherry Tigo has, even with the loss yesterday, 6-game winning streak, broken the streak of Petrogas PLDT, and Signal. Your final thoughts on Cherry Tigo and their chances moving forward?
For Cherry Tigo, pasok naman na sila sa semifinals. Actually, we already have 3 teams that are in the semifinals. So regardless of their positioning, it will be a best-of-3 series. Nobody will have an advantage.
Right.
But just by looking at the standings, for sure, teams would rather take on the other opponents na natalo na nila before. I mean, I guess that's just playing on their track record. So I don't know, maybe teams would just want to avoid the undefeated Creamline in the semis. But again, it's anybody's ballgame.
Well, these teams that we've talked about, Cherry Tigo, Choco, and Creamline, are exciting additions here in the semifinals. Of course, Creamline has been there. And then yung battle for number 4, yun pa
Right.
hindi natin kakalimutan, with Petrogas PLDT and Signal still wanting that number 4 seat. Pasalubong mula sa Iloilo,
Iloilo.
Anil. Maraming salamat. Have a safe flight and get well. And thanks for joining us again tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll shift to collegiate hoops after the break. So keep it here. You're watching The Game. It's been quite the journey to the finals, and who better to celebrate it with, than your own squad. So, we caught up with some players and asked them who their favorite teammate is this season in this edition of Court Catchup.
My favorite teammates is going to be hard because, you know, all the boys they love me too much and I love them also. But I can say my because we was close since day one.
Favorite teammate this season? That's tough. But I would probably say Kai. Kai, he's just a great person to be around. He's electrifying on the court and he's just a motor for our team.
Siyempre, roommate ko, Don Lim, tsaka yung Omar dyan. Siyempre, minsan, pag walang ginagawa sa dorm, pinupuntahan ko sa kwarto si Omar, nagugulo lang ako. Pati si Michael dyan rin pala, Malonzo.
Marami kasi co-captain ako eh. Pero yung mga fellow Cebuanos ko, si Reinhard, si LA, tsaka si Kian. So, sobrang close ko sa team. Siyempre, kalingguhay ko sila, at the same time, kasabay ko sila kumain, kasabay ko sila pumuntang school, and kasabay ko din umuwi, galing ensayo.
Favorite kong teammate naman, siguro lahat. Pero ang pinaka-close ko kasi si Steve Nash at si Reynard Dumamoy. Siguro vibes kami, lagi rin kami magkakasama on and off the court.
I love John Pelisilda. On and off the court, yung relationship namin, so hindi lang siya sa loob. So pagdating sa labas, mas close kami sa labas.
Si Jolo, kasi kababayan ko siya. Sa Pampanga kasi nung di po kami nag-NU, magkalaban kami as a player. Kaya yun, hanggang dito magkasama kami.
Favorite ko lahat pero kung papipiliin ako si Jan. Favorite ko siya kasi parang ginagawa niya lang yung role niya tapos parang kahit sa labas ng court magkasama kami palagi sa dorm, palagi kami sabay kumakain ganyan.
Lahat naman kami, favorite ko naman sila lahat kasi yung band namin is iba yung band namin. Parang nagiging solid.
My favorite teammate probably si Bright Wangko kasi sobrang kulit niya on and off the court.
Favorite teammate, besides obviously my brothers, would probably be either Earl Abadam or EJ Goriana. Sobrang hard workers talaga, and they always are with me on the bench. They always cheer with me, and so just watching their growth and watching everything that they do.
Ako, favorite teammate ko this season 86 is syempre si Aldous Turcolas kasi syempre siya yung palagi kong kasama kahit out of the country, kung saan man. Kumbaga siya yung best friend ko dun sa loob ng team.
My favorite teammate? Hirap yun. Marami, I would say lahat talaga. Even sila Coach Topex, I think we're one big family, and so lahat naman.
Oh, favorite teammate. Well, I love everybody, but the bonding outside the court, maybe it's me and Francis Escandor. Yeah, we're kind of we were close since the bubble, so up to now we're really close.
You can catch Game 1 of the UAAP Men's Finals between DLSU and UP tonight at 6 ngayon na on the Pilipinas Live app. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ziher Basho.
Ikaw, Z, sino favorite teammate? Never mind, sorry. I'm Boom Gonzalez and this has been The Game.